Hello and welcome, my name is Maria and today I'm going to show you how to make a perfect heart. In my previous video I taught you how to do the embroidery and now I'm going to show you how I did the heart. So to make the heart you need a piece of paper. This is an A4 piece of paper and you need to fold it. You need a round object. This is a lid from a jar, and the size of your heart depends on the size, will depend on the size of your round object. So my hearts are about 15 centimeters long. So that's what I achieved with this round object from this lid. Okay, so you need to play around with the sizes of your object and decide what size of heart you want. So you place your object on the fold and you want to stick it out a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Okay, and then you draw around the shape. Okay, and now with a ruler you make a line just from that point where it starts coming around there, and you make a line all the way down. Again, you can play with the size of this line, with the size of your object, and decide what you like. Okay, so then you just cut along the line there and then around the shape, the round shape. Like so. Okay, and when you open it, there's your perfect heart. So now that you are ready to pass your template onto the fabric, let's do it. I have my template on a cardboard because it's more durable and I make a lot of this heart. So you want to draw your heart on the fabric. So you need two pieces of fabric, of course, and fabric wise I'm using this gorgeous off-white 55% linen and 45% cotton fabric that if you want to buy from me, I'll leave the link below. So this is the fabric I used to do all my sewing projects, my hearts, my little sachets, and many other things. Okay, I'll leave the link below if you want to have a look. So if you are going to do embroidery on your heart, and the video with the embroidery is available to you, is a video I sent out a few days ago. So you place your heart on a piece of fabric and then you draw your design in the middle, and then you have to draw the heart on the back as well, because this is where we're going to sew in the sewing machine. So you need the shape of your heart in both sides. Okay, if you do no drawing, no embroidery, then you don't need it in both sides. You just need it on the back where you're going to sew in the sewing machine. Okay, so once that is done, you put your pieces together, right sides facing each other. So this side doesn't have right or wrong side, so it doesn't matter, but is right side onto the inside. Okay, so you put both pieces together, you pin it down and we're going to cut it around close to the line without touching the line, of course. So we're gonna cut this around. And now a little trick here to make the curves here perfectly round, or as much as we can, is to snip like so, make like little V's around the curve. You don't need to make it on this straight line, just around the curves there, just snip it with your scissors, do kind of V's like so. Make sure you don't touch the line. Go as close as you can to the line without touching it, so be very careful. And you just do all the way around those V's. Alright, and then now it's the time you need to think about the little string you're going to hang with. So if you're making a hanging heart, you need to hang it with something, and you might want to have a ribbon or wherever you want, okay? And this is the time that you need to think about it, because you need to sew it. So I've got a string. This is cotton, and this is what I'm going to use to hang my heart. So you need the part that you're going to hang with, which is this part here, needs to be on the outside, okay? So it needs to be here, and that needs to be there, because when you sew it will catch there and will make it secure, okay? So make it as long as you want inside there, and then put it back together and make sure it's sticking out there, so that when you sew you go over it, okay? So this is a time where you need to think about the hanging, something that you're going to hang your heart with, okay? And then you put it together again, and we're going to sew it on a sewing machine. But you need to leave a gap, so here we're going to leave a gap, like so, more or less. And we don't sew there, we're going to go, we are going to sew all around there, and then stop there and stop there, and just leave this gap so we can turn it around. Okay, so let's go to the sewing machine. So here in the sewing machine you want smallish stitches, number 2 or 2.5 size of stitches, okay? And you start your sewing, and when we get to the tip here, I'm going to show you something, a trick to make this beak or this pointed part of the heart a little bit better. And again, when we get to that pointing part there on the top, okay? So let's when you get there, go do it with manually until you get to that point, or just before you get into the point. And what you're going to do, you're going to leave the needle down and lift the foot and put the foot down again, and you go across 1 or 2 stitches, okay, and back onto the line, okay, and then lift it and go back onto the line and continue it. So you want to make 2 stitches across the pointed part of your heart. And on the curve, just go slowly and gently. get to the pointing part there, go by a hand, lift, and then go across 1 or 2 stitches, and then you are back onto the line, lift it and adjust and carry on. I forgot to say, if you have your ribbon there, just make sure that you go over it nicely to secure it in place. And then we stop here because we want to leave the gap. And that's it. If you have a ribbon there, you might want to go over it again just to make sure it's nicely secured, because this is a thread, cotton thread. I'm going to give a few knots just to make sure it doesn't go loose. Okay, and that's all we need to do at the sewing machine. So now what we're gonna do is, so because I've got this thread here, what I'm gonna do is make a few knots just to make sure that it stays nicely in place. If you have a ribbon, you might not want to do that because it's going to be too thick. Okay, so I can do that because it's only cotton thread here. Okay, a few knots just to make sure it doesn't come loose on the other side. Okay, and now we can turn it around through the gap that we left. And then with the help with something that is not sharp, just I go through the seams. So something that I forgot to tell you is that when you do the drawings, whatever ink or pen you use, you see the still, in my drawing, still marks of the pen there, and around here we still see it, but with this pen I use, the ink will come off with heat. So as I'm going to press it, the heat will get rid of all these marks of the pen. Okay, so make sure that whatever you use will come off as well. Okay, and you just want to make the pointy there as pointy as you can with something that is not sharp. You can use scissors as well, slowly and gently. Okay. Okay, and that's your heart. So what I'm going to do now is to press it, to iron it, not only to get rid of the lines but also to get rid of wrinkles. So now that is nicely impressed, I'm going to fill it with this stuffing thing. Alright, I think I've got enough in it now. And now all we have to do is to sew the gap there. Okay, and we're going to do that with a lather stitch. So you need a needle with cotton. I like to double to fold my cotton, my thread, and you need a knot at the end of your thread. Okay, and what we're gonna do is that lather stitch. So you insert your needle there on the top to hide the knot, and then we're going from side to side through the fold, through the tunnel. So you insert your needle in the tunnel, and then on the other side you go to the same spot. You want to, if the thread is there on this side, you have to go on the same point there, on the same line. Okay, and then you go to the other side through the tunnel. Small stitches, the smaller the better. And then on the other side through the tunnel. When you get to the end, just go through the middle and make a couple of knots to secure it in place. Okay, and then you just hide the thread through the heart there. And that's your heart done. All right. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you at a next tutorial. Bye bye now.